So I think it's safe to say that Samsung is the reason why we are seeing a lot of AIs in other smartphones. I mean, when Samsung first released Galaxy AI, it was pretty okay. But with the new Galaxy AI updates that came in with the Flip and the Fold 6, the game has changed. And I personally think that if any phone maker has implemented AI into their phones properly, it's probably Samsung. Okay, let's start off with Generative Edit. Now, when Generative Edit first came out, it was kind of simple. It just filled up spaces and you could take an image from another picture and put it into Generative Edit and get it to do the generation for you. But now you are able to draw something on the screen and it will generate what it thinks you have drawn and place it into the image. I mean, it's good enough to know the lighting of the image and bounce those lights off the generations. For example, it knows where light is coming from, it knows where there are accented lights around, and the shadows are probably the biggest thing because the image knows how to sell it. I mean, I'll be honest, when we first started using it on the new version, it's actually quite insane. Now, the possibilities become kind of endless at this point, and it kind of sparked a debate in our office, right? Like, why are we still subscribed to Envato Elements and every other stock image website out there? Honestly, I've not seen this type of AI in any other smartphone aside from Samsung. And to be honest, it's kind of irritating when a lot of these phone makers try to slap on the AI label on features that have already existed. And by the way, that's not even the full story. Galaxy AI even allows you to draw something and generate that into art. So we wanted to push the limits of this and kind of asked our designer to draw out something on the Generative Edit and make it as beautiful as possible before we hit the generate button. And by the way, this is what we got. Now, even the note summary feature is great. Now, I know we have seen this on Oppo as well, but on Samsung, it does it more faster and it feels more organized. Now, don't get me wrong, both of them can do it very well. But when you summarize a wall of text with a wall of text, it doesn't really feel like it's helping. But when Samsung summarizes something, it has point forms, paragraphs, and such. Just personally for me, I just enjoy summarizing anything on a Samsung phone compared to any other smartphone. The ability to have translation appear on the cover screen for someone foreign to read while I get the translation on the inner screen is something that I would have killed to have on my trip to Computex 2024. Buying things would have been so much more easier if I had the Flip or the Fold and brought it to Taiwan. But now that it's finally here, I'm very excited to take these phones for my next overseas trip. Now, I don't want to run over the specs of the Flip and the Fold at the same time because we have already made 2 videos for that, which you can check out at the top here. I'll put it somewhere. But aside from the great changes to Galaxy AI, they do have other things like the AI Studio Portrait mode, which allows you to generate a cool image of yourself from a selfie, which I think it's far better than Apple's Animoji. And while Oppo does have an AI Studio app as well, it's pretty cool, but it does come with a credit cap thing, so it will block you from using it after a few generates. So of course, it was very important to me that I asked Samsung whether they are going to implement some credit cap or there's a limit to these generations. And you know what they told me? They said they have no plans for it. But if they do start to charge for Galaxy AI features, I hope that they bundle it together with Samsung's version of Apple One, if it ever comes, which makes more sense in my opinion because you get more out of your Samsung products rather than just using Galaxy AI. Now, not to mention, Galaxy AI also helps you to compose emails and even social media captions. And all you need to do is just write a prompt, choose a style, and it will generate the email or caption immediately. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that Samsung is implementing AI features that we will actually use in our smartphones. Yes, they have the basic features of note summary, which almost every other phone probably already has, but the way it is implemented is much smarter than any other smartphone out there. I don't need better ways to share content to my social media platforms, and I don't need fancy dynamic islands that are powered on AI to be running on my phone. I just need AI to help me with my day-to-day tasks. That is more important to me than AI aesthetics. And because of all that reasons, that is why I think that in 2024, if you want an AI smartphone, then you should definitely be looking at the new Samsung products. So before I end this video, all I can say is that other phone makers out there, if you're watching this video, please take some notes of how Samsung is implementing AI into their phones, because this AI is useful. Whatever else we're seeing out there is just a pretty little gimmick. But at the end of the day, a gimmick is going to get boring and people are going to forget about it.